Hey guys, I'm back. So today's project, the Elantra is back. So what are we gonna do today? What you can see we'll be replacing the timing belt. If you wanna get one, here's the part number. AISIN. They make the best water pumps because we'll be changing the water pump too. So what the plan is, I'll try to film. I don't know if I'll be able to film what I'm taking stuff apart, but I'll try to explain the best way I can do. So anyways, took the wheel off. One thing you could do, can't really see here, but there's the cover that covers the crank pulley. So there's 3 fasteners, bolts here, 2 on the top and 1 on the side. Then you could always put a jack underneath your oil pan, because we'll be taking the engine mount off. And I already drained the press stone, so if you want to see at the bottom of the rod, the white knob, there's a valve. So you unscrew it counterclockwise and you could drain your press stone. So what are we gonna start? We're gonna start taking the engine mount off. You could see there's like 3 bolts, nuts, 17 over here. There's a ground 10 millimeter bracket, and we'll see if we're gonna take the 3 14s or the 17 in the middle. We'll see if we can get more access. And after that, we'll be going to do, we're gonna, if you could see, I don't know if you could see, there's the water pump pulley. The best way is to loosen the bolts. There's 4 bolts, 10 millimeters on it, so while the belt is still on. And then we'll disconnect the alternator adjuster, and we'll have to take out this bracket here, because it connects to the water pump. And then after all this is done, we'll start taking the timing belt cover, and we'll start going down. I'll get back. So here's the kit, timing belt kit. It comes with the water pump, the idler pulley, and the adjuster, and the gasket, of course. So if you want to get that piece, it's more or less the same price as Gates, but like the water pump and this unit, it's made in Korea, so the bearings are very good. So it's like the best one on the market, and it's about the same price like the Gates. Another thing I wanted to show you too, you see those water pumps? If you can see, there's a key. So there's a slot in the pulley and thing to adjust those 4 bolts. If you could see that key, because a lot of pumps, if you buy, last time I got a Gates and didn't have a key, alignment key, so it was a pretty it's a bitch to align the pulley, especially if you don't see it. So that's one plus on the Asian kit. All right, so we took the engine mount off, the alternator bracket, the pulley, and under the the mount, there's another bracket that's holding, I don't know if I could show you. There's the bracket here. We're gonna have to take it out too, so it's easier to take out the, I don't know if you could see, I'm pointing this bracket here. It's gonna be easier to take out the lower cover. So everything is done now. So next is gonna be the cover. So here's the bracket with the adjuster. Here's the pulley. It's keyed, so if your water pump doesn't have the key, it's gonna be pretty hard to adjust it. So just one thing, mark your pulley for the outer, because it's really easy to put it backwards if you forget how it went. All right, let's take the covers off and then we'll be back. All right, the cover's off. I want to show you something, because we'll be putting the engine at top dead center. If you can see at the bottom on the cover, there's a T. There's before top dead center and there's a T, and this T will be aligned with the pulleys. There's a groove in the pulley, so you'll know when you adjust it there. And here the gears, there's a sign that says up. That's gonna be like in the up position. And if you can see in the back on the block, there's a red mark. So the hole that you see here will be aligned with that red mark. So this way you know that you're gonna be at top dead center. All right, so now we're at top dead center. So you can see at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, there's a groove in the pulley and it's aligned with the T. And over here, it's hard to see, but if you look on inside the hole, you can see that we're spot on the red line. So if you put something in, you'll be able to be right on it. All right, top dead center. Now we'll take the crank pulley off. I'll be using an impact because I don't want it to move. And even if it moves, there's another way on the crank gear. There's a Mark II for the alignment purpose later. Here's another way to see your position. There's a tab on the gear, and in the back you can see this little demarcation, so it's aligned with that pin. Alright, so the lower cover is off. Now we're gonna be taking off the three remaining bolts on the water pump. I'll take it off. Over here, if you can see this bracket, maybe it's better to take it off because then it's harder to get to the cover bolt, one here, and to take the cover off. But anyways, I took it out without it, and that's it. All right, let's take the water pump, install that, and after that probably I'll be taking the idler pulley and the adjuster, and we'll be ready to take off the belt to replace it later. Thing I want to point out before I take the belt off, I mark the lower gear and the belt like a position, and the same thing on top here, so this way I'll be able to transfer those marks on the new belt, and I'll try to put it exactly the same way, so this way I'm pretty sure that I have the right tension on the belt. Alright, so the new water pump is on. Install the idler arm, the adjuster, the timing belt, and we adjusted the arrow in between the gates. We did 2 turns of the engine, and the arrow still stays in between. So if you want to know the way this is what you see here. You have the gate. So then when you let go of the pin, normally this thing should go and stay in between those two gates, like this. So after you tighten everything, release the pin, and this thing should go right in between. If it ever doesn't go, what you do, you're gonna loosen the bolt here, and then you're gonna use the Allen key, and you're gonna pull it depending if you want to loosen it or put it closer. This what controls the adjustment. So then so after that, if you're back into the square, tighten everything, do the turn of the engine, and if it doesn't move, you should be good. If you after you turn twice and the arrow is outside of the gate, readjust it again, because this is the adjustment for the timing belt. Anyways, so now I'm gonna just put back everything, the covers and everything else. I'll see you later. Anyways, everything is done. Car runs. Timing belt was replaced. Now we just gonna have to wait to bleed the gear and the press stone, and that's it. So anyways, if you guys wanna do this job, more or less calculate between 2 and 4 hours, and it's not that complicated. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll try to answer it later.